Okay everyone, so now we are going to make a program in which we are going to search the element in array and displaying the array in ascending order. So these are the two operations we are going to perform one by one. So here first of all I have made the comment, so compiler will not read this. Then afterward we know that program will start with the main. So here I am providing void main. Then afterward I am starting with the curly bracket. As we are making the program of array, so first of all we are defining the array. Here I am saying int a, then afterward I am saying 10. That means I am declaring an array which will be having the 10 elements. So here we have defined an array whose name is a. So here we have given the a. Then afterward we are having is the 10 elements. We know that the 10 blocks will be reserved. We are assuming that if the integer is of 4 byte, then afterward it will start from let's say 100. Then afterward consecutively, as we are taking the integer of 4 byte, then afterward 4 will be added, just like 104, then 108. So this is the memory address. Then afterward 112, then afterward 116, 120, then similarly 124, then 128, 132, and 136. So using this array, these are the consecutively memory blocks which are reserved. Now afterward we know that here we have declared array 10. So that means array will be go from 0 to 9. So here the index values of array are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So here from 0 to 9 we are having the array elements. And we have to bother about the index values only because memory address compiler will be bothered. Then afterward we have to take the elements in this array. So now we are giving user an option that how many elements user want to enter. So here we are giving a message to the user. So here we are writing simply printf. Now here we are saying that enter value of n. Now we are asking user that how many elements you want to enter. So here this n belongs to the elements user want to enter. Now here I am specifying that this n should be less than equal to 10 because we have limit the size of array as 10. So user can go till 10. Beyond that will be the compiler error. So we are saying this. Then afterward we are putting the semicolon. Now where we will take this value? So we are declaring one variable here. Let's say n. Then afterward we are saying scanf. Then afterward %d, that is for the integer values, comma, add the address of n. So here we are giving user a message that please enter value of n. Let us suppose that user is entering 5. That means user want to store only 5 elements. Then afterward we are saying user printf. Then afterward we are saying enter elements. So here I want that this line should be into the next line. So I am putting the /n here. Now for entering the element, we know that user has entered the value n. So we will apply one for loop. For here we will say one variable. Let's say the variable I am taking is I. So I am mentioning I here. So here we are saying for I equal to 0, then I less than n. Then afterward we are saying I plus plus. So here we have applied a loop. Now if we are taking a single line, then brackets are not required. So simply we are saying that scanf. Then afterward we are saying %d, that is for the integer value, at the address of ai. We are taking that element. We should understand one more thing. There printf and scanf we are using. So on the top, we need one header file, that is #include stdio.h, which is standard input header file for printf and scanf functions. So here, first of all, we have declared an array with the 10 elements that is already declared. So 10 memories are declared. Then one variable n and one variable I, these two are declared. So I'm declaring one variable first n. So here this is n. Let us assume that there is some memory, let's say 301, on which this n is declared. Then afterward we are having I. So here I am taking one more memory, I. Let's assume that this I is on the memory address 401. This is we are assuming. Now afterward printf enter value of n less than 10. So this will be a message on the user screen that please enter the value of n. So I'm going to run this code and see. So now we are running the code. We are going on the execute, compile and run. Now here we can see that we are having enter value of n. Let us suppose that I want to enter only 5 elements. So I will say 5. Now enter. It is saying that enter the elements. Let us suppose that I am entering the elements, let's say 10. Then afterward I am saying, let's say 9. Then I am saying, let's say 6. Then I am saying 12. Then I am saying 1. So this is how I have entered the 5 elements. Now we are understanding that how this code is working. So here, first of all, by saying the printf statement, we are having the line that is enter value of n, which should be less than 10. Let us suppose that user has entered 5. So here we have the scanf %d. That means this integer value is taken and stored at the address of n. So here in the n, I am assuming that the value is 5, which is taken by the user. Now afterward, going to the next line, printf /n. So here we can see that next line we are having enter elements. So here the message on the user screen is enter elements. Now afterward, we are having a for loop which is starting from I equal to 0. So here the value of I is 0. Then afterward, checking the condition. Is I less than n? So is 0 less than 5? Perfect. Coming down, then scanf %d for the integer value. Then user has entered the first value, which is 10. So here that 10 value is stored at the address of ai. ai and the value of I is 0. So here we have stored the first element, that is 10. Now afterward, it will be going back I++. So here the value of I will be incremented to 1. Again checking the condition, I less than n perfectly, 1 less than 5. Then afterward again scanf. So here user entered a number which is 9. So at A1 number is entered, that is 9. Then further loop is keep on going. I is going on incrementing. So here the value of I will be 2. So at the A2, we are going to store the next element, which is 6. So 6 will be stored. Then afterward, I will be incrementing, that is 3. So at A3, we are going to store the next element that is entered by the user, which is 12. So we are storing the 12. Then further, I will be incrementing, that is 4. So at A4, we are storing the next element, which is 1. So here 1 will be stored. Then I will be incrementing, the value of I will be 5. So here I incrementing, then afterward condition check. And in the condition we can see that I less than n. Is 5 less than 5? False. So here it will come out. So this is how we have taken successfully 5 elements from the user. So here we understand one thing. If we have declared the array 10, that means 10 is the upper bound. Array cannot go beyond that because this is a static array. Static array means at the compile time, we are defining its size. So here the size is 10. So maximum size is 10, but we can provide less values. So here we have given the 5 values, so which are going from 0 to 4 indexes. So we can see that from 0 to 4, we have given the values. Now we are performing the search operation. So we are going back to the code. Now we are going to perform the search operation on the elements which are entered by the user. So here, first of all, we are asking the user that give me that number that you want to search. So here we are going to put a message by saying printf. Then here we are putting the /n for the next line. Then we are saying enter element to search. So this is the element which we want to search. Now afterward we are putting the semicolon. So there will be a message on the user screen that enter the element to search, where user will enter the element. So here I am taking one more variable, let's say s. So here again we are going and saying scanf. Then afterward we are saying %d, that is for the integer value, comma at the address of s. That number should be stored. Now we know that, let us suppose user has entered the number maybe 6. So we has to make a loop which will matching the number one by one and searching that number and showing to the user. So here we are again running the loop for, then we are saying I equal to 0, then I less than n, I plus plus. Why we are taking till n? Because the number entered by the user are n. So we are not running till 10, we are simply running till the 4. Then afterward, we are putting the bracket. If we are having the multiple statement, then we put the bracket. Otherwise, for the single line, bracket is not required. Now, here we are having S. S is having the element that need to be searched. So we are saying that if AI, we know that A is the array and I will be having its index. AI means A0, that is 10, that is equal to S. So here we are saying that if the array element is equal to S, then we will simply say number found. So we will say that printf, then afterward we can say that /n, that is for the next line. Then we will say number found at position, because we know that these are the positions. Then afterward we are going to display the position by saying %d. Then afterward we are saying comma and we are passing the I. So here I is the index value on which the element found. Now we are going to run this code and see how it will work. So here we are going on the execute, compile and run. So here we are having the output window, enter value of n. In the similar way as we have entered 5, we are entering the 5 and then we are entering the numbers just like 10, 9, 6, 12 and 1. We can simply write here 10 with the tab space, we can say then 9, then tab space 6, then afterward enter, then 12, tab space 1, enter. That is perfectly fine. So with one space or the tab space or by going to the next line, you can enter 5 numbers, no problem. So here I have entered the same 5 numbers, 10, 9, 6, 12 and 1. Now it is saying enter element to search. Let us suppose that the number is 6 which I want to search. So I am saying 6. Press enter. So here you can see that number found at position 2. So here at position 2, number is found. So now we are going to understand that how the further code will work. So here we are saying printf, then afterwards /n, that is for the next line, enter element to search. So here we can see that enter element to search. Now here user has entered 6. So by saying scanf, we are taking the input from the user %d, that is for the integer value, and it is going to save in the address of S. So that means one variable S is already declared. So here we are taking one variable S. Now let us suppose that this S variable is at the address 409. So we don't have to bother the address. Now afterward, this 6 which is given by the user is going at the address of S. So here at the address of S, this 6 is stored. Now afterward we are having the for loop. So loop is starting from I equal to 0. That means from I the value will be 0. So here it will start. So here the value of I will be again 0. Then it will be going till less than n. We know that the value of n is 5. So here till 4 this loop will work. And what it is going to perform? Simply if AI equal to S. So now we are understanding that how this loop is performing its task. So first of all, we have mentioned that the value of I is 0. So here the value of I will again become 0. And less than n, so here till less than 5, perfect. It will coming down. If AI equal to S, now understand that A0 is 10. So this 10 equal to S, and what is S? That is 6. Is 10 equal to 6? No. So this part will not run. Again going back, incrementing the I. So when the I will be incrementing, the value of I will be 1. Checking the condition, is 1 less than 5? Yes, again coming down. If AI equal to S, that means if A1, which is 9, is 9 equal to 6? No. Again this part will not run. Again going back, I will be incrementing. So here the value of I will be 2. Then again checking the condition, is 2 less than 5? Yes. Again coming down. If AI equal to S, So here A2, that is 6. Is 6 equal to 6? Yes, 6 equal to 6. Perfect. So here inner part will execute and it is saying that in the next line, number found at position. So here we can see that number found at position, percentage D, that is for the integer value taking from the I. Now here I, what is the value of I? The value of I is 2 right now. We can see that 2. So here this 2 is printed. That means at the index value of 2, we found the number. So here this is the number 6 which we were searching for. Now let us suppose that your array have multiple 6. So here this program will search for the further numbers also. It will not stop. But if you want that you find the first number, then afterward you don't want to continue, simply apply the break. So here we can apply the break and afterward program will stop. But if you want that all numbers should be searched, means how many 6 are there, show me. So here we have not applied the break. Now again program will go back after this line. So here I will be incremented, the value of I will be 3. Then again same, I less than 5, yes, again searching, AI equal to S. So can we have this AI equal to S? So find out A3. So that is 12. Is 12 equal to 6? No. So this part will again not work. Again go back, I increment, the value of I will be 4. Then again coming down, here AI equal to S. So now it is checking A4, which is 1. So is 1 equal to 6? No. So this part will again not run. Again going back, again the value of 5 will be increment, that is 5. So 5 less than 5 false. So here for loop will come out. So this is how this loop is going to find the position of number which is given by the user. Now we are running this code again and understanding that if user gave the same numbers, then how the output will come. So we are going on the execute. So here we are having the output window, enter value of n. Let us suppose the 5 I am giving same. Enter elements. Let us suppose that I am giving 10. Then after I am giving 9. Then I am giving 6. Again I am giving 6 and giving 1. So 2 times 6 I have given. Now enter. So here it is saying that enter element to search. Let us suppose I am saying 6. Now you can see that number found at position 2, number found at position 3. So here loop will provide you 2 results because 2 times the number is given. If you want that on very first, it should stop. You can provide the break here. Means after printf you simply provide break. Then only first number will be shown. Now we are going back and understanding that if we have given the number which is not available into the list, then how it should work. Many of the people think that we should apply else here. So simply we should apply else here. Then afterward we say printf. Then we should say in the next line, that is /n, number not found. So I am going to run this code and tell you that why it is not proper way of coding. So we are going to execute, compile and run. So here we are saying that enter value of n. Let us suppose 5 I am saying, then enter elements. In the same manner I am entering the elements. Let's say 10, then 9, then 6, then 6, then 1. Enter. Enter element to search. Let's say 6 I am searching. Enter. You can see that not found, element found at position 2, 3 not found. In the many people's mind, it is a common thing that we should simply apply the else and we will get the output. No. Understand that we are applying this if else completely inside the for loop. So whenever the value of I is going from 0 to n, that means from 0 to 4, every time either if or else one part will be executing. So here it is going the wrong output. You can see that this 6 was matched with the 10, not matching, so else part run. So it is saying number not found. Then 6 match with 9, then again else part run, not found. 6 match with 6. Here if part run because number matched. So here it is saying that at position 2. Then again match with the next, that is 6. Position 3. Then again 6 match with the 1. So here else part executed. That is not found. But this is not the proper output. We want that if number not found, simply tell us one time number not found. That's it. So here for that we can take a flag. So we are going back to the code and provide the flag. So here we can see that this else part is not proper. So here we are going to remove this. That means this else part is not required. Now assume that if we have found the number, now here you can see that printf number found at position. So I am using a variable for flag. Flag is just like yes or no. So I am assuming that f is equal to 0 by default. 0 I am assuming is no. So at the end I can say that if the value of f equal to 0 means the program is going till the end. If the f remains 0, so we can say that number not found. So here we can say that printf, simply in the bracket we can say that /n number not found. But if the number is found, then what will happen? So here immediately after the if, which was the true part, here we are saying flag is equal to 1. That means if the number is found, you make f1. You can see that there are two lines. So here after the if we have to provide the bracket. So here this area we are going to cut and we are going to paste inside the bracket of if, so that this part will be executed together. So here whenever we are having multiple statements, then we have to provide the bracket. Now afterward we are going to run this code and understand is it working proper. So here we are going on the execute. Here it is saying enter value of n. Let us suppose that I am saying 5, then again giving the elements 10, 9, 6, 6, 1. Then afterward again search 6. You can see that only 2 and 3 is coming. So that means this number not found is not working. Now I am giving a number which will not be there in the list. So we are going back to the code, going to execute, compile and run. Again I am giving the value of n is 5, then entering the 5 numbers. Let's say 10, 9, 6, 6, 1. Now this time the number I want to search is, let's say 20. Press enter. You can see that number not found. Now understand that how it is working. So here we have set a f. So there is a variable which we have taken, that is f. So here I am defining this variable. Let us suppose that the memory is, let's say 471. This is some memory. Now here the name of variable is f. Afterward we have given 0. So this variable is initialized with the value that is 0. We are assuming that 0 means by default number not found. So here we have given the value which is 20. So this for loop work for 0 to 4. Then afterward all the elements are matched. So here first element matched. So here 20 matched with 10 no. Then 9 no. Again 6 no. 6 no. 1 no. When the loop will come out, still the value of f is 0. So here we are saying number not found. But let us suppose that you have entered the number, let's say 6. Now what will happen? Here again the for loop will start from 0 and go till n. That means till 4 it will work. Now it is going to match ai with s. Now understand, first of all, this 6 is matched with the 10. It is not matching. Then it is matched with the 9. Not matching. Then with the 6 it is matching. So here with the 6, that is on the second index. So here it will simply say printf /n, that is for the next line. Number found at position, that is 2. So here number found position 2 will come. So afterward f will be 1. So here we are setting the flag as 1. That means we found the number. Even if we are going further and checking the further numbers, that means matching the 6 with 6, then again the line will be printed that number found at position here at 3. So number found at position 3 will come. But the value of flag will be 1. Even flag can be modified again and again with 1 but remain 1. So that means number is found. So here afterward it is matching with 1, number will not found and loop will be coming out. So when the loop will come out, again it will check is f 0, but here the f value is 1. That means this line will not execute. So here in the case where number found, this line will not execute. But if the number not found, just like we have entered the number 20, so here it will say number not found. So here we can see that number not found if the value entered is 20. So this is the first part of the program where we have searched the number from the array. So now we are going towards the second part of the program in which we are going to arrange the elements into the ascending order. So here I am assuming that these are the elements which are given by the user. Now these elements need to be arranged. First of all, we are understanding the logic. I am making the same array. So here we are taking the same array for example. Now for sorting these elements into ascending order, first of all we will pick first element. Let us suppose it is 10. Then afterward we are going to compare this element with rest of the elements. Let us suppose with 9. So here we can see that 9 is the smaller element. So here we will do the swapping. So here first of all we will perform the swapping. That means 9 and 10 will be swapped. Now afterward, again this element will be compared with the next element. We know that the upcoming array will be 10, 6, 12 and 1. So the next element we will compare. So here we can see that if I compare with the 6, again 6 is the lesser. So they will be swapped. So here 6, 10 and 9 will come. Then rest of the element will be as it is. Then further again this will be compared with the next element. Let's say it is 12. So here no problem because 6 is the smaller. Then afterward in the next turn we are going to compare with the next element. We can see that 1 is less. So here 1 and 6 will be swapped. Then afterward 10, 9 and 12. So here this is the pass 1. Similarly we will pick the next element. You can see that after one pass we have the first element at the proper place. Now again we will do the same thing with the next element. Let us suppose that here we are having 10. So now I am putting the same elements here 1, 10, 9, 12 and 6. So here we will pick the second element. Then again compare with the next one. Again you can see that it is greater. So swapped. So 9 and 10 will be there. Then afterward rest of the element will be as it is. Similarly this will be compared with the next. So here no problem. Then afterward next. Yes, it will be swapped. So 6 and 9, then rest will be as it is. So here after second pass we can see that two elements are at proper position. Again we will do with the next element here. So compare with the next element. You can see that here there is no problem. Then afterward again we are going to compare with the next. So there will be the swapping. So here 9 and 10. Now rest will be as it is. So afterward we can see that three elements are at proper position. Now we will perform the swapping in the last. So here we are comparing it and the swapping. So here 10 and 12. Then afterward 1, 6, 9 will be as it is. So all the elements into the ascending order. So this is the logic. Now understand that how we are going to make this logic into the program. We can see that in the first pass we have made the first position fixed. So here you can see that firstly we have compared the 0th position because you can see that this is at 0th position 9, 6. So they all at 0th position and we are comparing with the rest of the elements. So here we are taking one variable I and that I variable will be for the fixing and we will take one more variable j that is going to compare with rest of the elements. So here we are going to define this into the program. So we are going back to the code. So first of all we are saying for, then afterward we are taking the I. So for I equal to 0 and I less than n, then afterward I plus plus. So understand that this for loop is the outer loop. By the outer loop we are fixing the value of I right now. Let us suppose that I we are fixing here on the 0. So here I will start from 0 and go till 4. Now understand that first of all we are mentioning I equal to 0. Now afterward we need to compare with the rest of the elements. So here we need one more loop here. So by the outer loop we have fixed the value. First of all let us suppose that the value of I is 0 right now. So that means we have fixed these positions. So here all the positions we have fixed. Now afterward we want that there should be one more variable j. So this j variable should be running, that is after the I. So it will compare this one with the first index, second index, third index, and the fourth index, just like we have performed here. So for that, j should be running 1 plus I. So j will be I plus 1. After the j variable is declared, we are performing the for loop. So we are saying for j equal to I plus 1, because it should be running 1 plus the I. Then afterward, j less than n. Then afterward, we are saying j plus plus. So here, this is the inner loop. Now, we know that with this loop, the element is going to compare. Then how it will work? We are saying that if ai, that means array element, is greater than aj, then what is going to happen? Afterward, we are going to perform the swapping. So here we are saying, let us suppose that we are taking one variable here, that is a temporary variable. So we are going on the top and taking one more variable, let's say t, that is a temporary variable. So we are saying here t is equal to ai, then afterward ai equal to aj, then aj equal to t. So this is how we have performed the swapping. Now afterward, we are going to display this. So we are going after the for loop. So we are saying printf. In the bracket, we are saying ascending order. So here after the ascending order, we are going to display this. So we are saying for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So here after the for, we are going to provide in the ascending order. So we are saying printf. In the bracket, we are performing %d, that is for the integer value. Then comma, we are saying ai. So here we are going to display these elements. Here before the ascending order, I am applying /n, so that ascending order should be coming into the next line. Then here after the %d, I am giving one space, so that with every element there should be a space. Now after I am going to execute, compile and run. So here we can see that it is saying enter value of n. So let us suppose that the value I am giving is 5. Enter elements, same elements I am giving 10, 9, 6, 12 and 1. Enter element to search 6. So we can see that 6 element is at second position, that we have already performed. But here we can see that the number into the ascending order. So now we are understanding that how this loop is working. Now we are understanding that how this part is working for the ascending order. Now first of all, here we are having the I. So for, we know that for loop will work until the condition will be false. So here first of all I is 0. So here the value of I we have taken is 0 right now. Now afterward, we are saying that I less than n. What is the value of n right now? We know that the value of n is 5. So here 0 less than 5, that is perfectly fine. Now afterward, it will come down. So here understand logically that first of all we have fixed this I. Now this I is here on 0. So this is the logical representation. The next loop is saying that j is equal to I plus 1. So for that we have to take one more variable. So I am defining j here. So there is one more variable we have defined, that is j. Let us suppose that there is some memory which can be, let's say 501. So here j is equal to I plus 1. What is the value of I right now? It is 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So here you understand logically that the value of j is 1. So j is representing after the I. Now afterward, it is checking the condition that j less than n. So 1 less than 5, that is perfectly fine, it will come inside. Now afterward, if the condition is true, we are having the inner part. It is saying that if ai is greater than aj. Now ai, that means 10, is greater than 9. Is 10 greater than 9? Yes, perfectly fine. So what is going to happen? Here we are saying a variable t. Now one more variable is defined, which is t. So here we are defining the t. It is a temporary variable. Let us suppose that we are taking some memory, which is 601. This variable is used for the swapping purpose. That's it. So understand that t is equal to ai. What is the AI value? AI is 10. So here 10 is stored. Now afterward, AI is equal to AJ. So AI, you understand that AI is the position. Now it is equal to AJ. So you know that here 9 is shifted. So that means the updated value of this block will be 9. So here the 9 is copied, earlier value lost. Now what is going to happen afterward? AJ is equal to T. Because the value is lost, that's why we have saved into some other variable. Now afterward we are saying AJ, that is this block. Now A1 we are putting the value of T. What is the value of T? That is 10. So here instead of 9, 10 will come. The value of T is 10 here, which we have already stored. Now afterward, this value we are taking here. So here we can see that both the values are swapped. After that, it will be going back. The value of J will be incremented, that is J++. So here we can see that the value of J is 2 now. Checking the condition, is J less than N? Is 2 less than 5? Perfect. So logically if we represent, the J is here shifted on the 2. Now again it is going down and again the comparison is going to happen. So here AI is greater than AJ. I is still fixed. Right now I is fixed on 0 and J is keep on running after. Now here AI is greater than AJ. So understand that 9 is greater than 6. That is perfectly fine. So here now we are going to swap these elements and we know that with the help of T we are going to swap. So first of all the value of AI will be stored to T. So here the AI value is 9. So here the 9 value will come here. Then afterward AI equal to AJ. So here this 6 value will come and take the place of 9. Then afterward AJ is equal to T. So here inside this 6 we are having the new value which is 9. So we can see that these values are swapped with each other. Then afterward it will go back again and the value of J will be incremented. Now here you can see that again the value of J is incremented to 3. So here we can see that J is now on the 3. Still the I is same on 0. So again this time we are going to match AI and AJ. So here AI is 6 and AJ is 12. So is AI greater than AJ? No. So inner part will not work. Again go back. J will be incremented. The value of J will be 4. So here if we see hypothetically, then J is now come here. Then again coming down, AI greater than AJ. So that means I is fixed. So first element which is 6 greater than 1. Perfectly fine. So here again it will come down and swapping will be performed using the temporary variable. So here this 1 will take the position of 6 and this 6 will take the position of 1. So they will be swapped. Then afterward we'll go back and the value of J will be incremented. So J++ which is 5. So 5 less than 5. So this condition will be false. It will come out. Now after coming out, outer loop is waiting. So here it will go back and here I++. So that means now the value of I will be incremented. So here the value of I is now 1. That means this I is now shifted to 1. So for this again we are having inner part. Now for this we are having the value of J that is equal to I plus 1. And what is the value of I plus 1? That is 1 plus 1 is 2. So here J now will start from the 2 index. Now again this thing is going to happen. Again afterward these elements will be compared. That means 10 will be compared with the 9. Here 10 is larger. So here swapping will be performed. So 9 will come here and 10 will be shifted. Just like the previous example where first of all the first position was fixed. Now here the I is fixed. Afterward J is keep on incrementing. Again the J will increment. So here J will come to the 3. Then afterward 9 will be compared with the 12. but 9 is less, so no problem. Again, j will be incremented, so afterward 9 will be compared with the 6. Yes, 9 is greater, so here swapping will be performed. Now 6 will come here and 9 will be shifted. When the further value of I will be incremented, the loop will be false. So it will come out and again it will go back and the value of I will be incremented. Now here we can see that the value of I will be going from 1 to 2. So I is now going to fix the next position and j will start after I plus 1. So the value of j will be I plus 1. The value of I is 2, so j will start from 3 right now. So again they are going to compare. So 10 will be compared with the 12. Then we can see that there is no problem because 10 is smaller. So afterward j will be further incremented, but the I position will be same on 2. So 10 will be compared with the 9. Yes, 10 is greater. So here values will be modified. 9 will come here and 10 will be shifted. So they are swapped. After that, the loop will be false. So inner loop will be false because when the value of j will be incremented, that will be 5. So again it will be going back and further I will be incremented. Now I is going to the next value which is 3. So I is now fixing this value. Then afterward we will take j. J will be I plus 1. So now this time j will start from 4. So the value of j will be 4. So again they are going to compare. So ai and aj, they will be compared and we can see that 12 is greater. So swapping will be performed. So here 10 will be shifted here and 12 will be shifted afterward. Then afterward the value of j will be incremented, then the inner loop will be false. It will be going out, then the value of I will be incremented and the I will be going on the 4 right now. Then further I is fixing this and j will start from I plus 1, but there is no further element because I plus 1 is 5. So here 5 less than 5 loop will be false, it will come out. So both the loop will come out and we can see that our all elements are arranged. So here 1, 6, 9, 10 and 12 are arranged. So we are saying that printf ascending order. So here on the user screen ascending order is coming. Then we are saying for I equal to 0 till less than n. We are taking this loop for accessing the elements. So from 0 till 4 we are showing all the elements. So we are saying that %d for the integer value, it is taking from ai. So first the value of I will be 0. So here 1 will be displayed. Then for the 1 6 will be displayed. Then 9 will be displayed. Then further 10 will be displayed and 12 will be displayed. So this is how we have the ascending order. So simple funda is that we are fixing the position of I and we are keep on incrementing the j and comparing. If the element is greater, then we are swapping. So this is how we are finding the ascending order. So in this program, we have performed 2 tasks. One is the searching of element. This is the first task and second task is ascending order. So this is the program of array in which we have searched element and make it into the ascending order.